Hello.
Buenas noches.
Why don't we go ahead and start with Joey tonight?
Hi everybody, I'm playing Cotter and Leon, the traumatized mechanic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are just recovering from about a pretty severe madness.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, he's having a hard time with that.
I imagine.
Understandable.
Terry?
Hello. I'm Terry. I play as James. I am the medic, the nerd, with all the answers of anything Egyptian or historical. And currently locked in a room going crazy by reading a book.
And Bry.
My name's Bernadette Brandt, and I'm recovering from about being mad.
So, Connor chose to take it a little easy and recover from his problems, and two of you decided to pursue forbidden knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Except for I locked myself in my room.
Oh, I just mean I'm being angry.
Yeah.
And if I ever get out, you guys are forcing me to stay in my room.
Yep. You're not gonna come out. You're gonna stay in there. We'll give you food and water, but you're staying in there.
So, it's going to take 10, 12 days to travel from Cairo to Mombasa in Kenya. When you emerge from the ship, you find that it's not a harsh transition. This city's Arabic. It has elaborate balconies and mosques and minarets. It doesn't look that different from Cairo, at least to your eyes. This is going to be probably the easiest travel through customs that you've had so far. They're not particularly concerned with checking your luggage. If you are openly carrying firearms, they don't say anything about it. Your passports are stamped. You're allowed into the country. And it is up to you whether you want to take some time here, take some time to recover or look around, or if you want to immediately catch a train deeper into the continent to Nairobi. You do know that Aja Singh has a warehouse in Mombasa. You have not met this man, but he is the one who dealt with Emerson Imports all the way back in New York, and he was listed in the Ledgers of Edward Gavigan in England. But you don't have any specific reason to go look at his, to go try to meet him or to look at his warehouses.
No, but it is
Not directly.
it is something to keep in mind.
I mean, we've broken in everywhere else we've been so far, so...
I'm trying to remember, what other leads do we have again?
If you look in your new journal, you'll notice that Hammer's notes indicate that he met a mercenary named Nails Nelson at the Victoria Bar in Nairobi. Nelson claims to have seen Jack Brady alive after the expedition was reported killed. Hammer visited the site of the massacre while he was in Kenya. Carlyle led his group here after Egypt, saying that they were going to go on a safari to relax and recover from some stressful events in Egypt. They were here for about a year, and then were reported killed when after a massacre in the bush. And finally, Hammer mentioned meeting a man named Johnstone Kenyatta, who is a politician in Nairobi. And Kenyatta was the first person who actually told him about the Cult of the Bloody Tongue.
So we've got a few things we can do here.
Yeah.
Somebody give me a spot hidden check.
Me. I'll do it.
Go for it.
I've only got a 76.
That's a regular success. So you are going to realize as you disembark from the ship and as you're making your way through the city, there's a young Indian man who you've noticed a few times. He boarded the ship when you stopped for 2 days before making your way further south, and he has not exactly followed you around, but he has bumped into you or been near you more times than you would expect for a ship of this size. And even now, as you make your way through the city, every so often you catch him out of the corner of your eye.
Good chance we're being trailed.
Mm-hmm. Might I suggest... we attempt to turn the tables on him a little bit.
What's your plan?
Oh, very simple, very easy. We hide around a corner and wait until he gets in front of us.
Would you stop biting me? I have an itch.
I remember, what time period was this again?
20s.
Yeah, 1925.
Did they have televisions back then? I can't remember.
No.
Yes. They
They had
did have movies.
They would have had comics, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
no superheroes yet.
Wait, you think this is some kind of comic where you can just hide around a corner and they'll pop around and you can, I don't know, hit them?
Oh,
Push
I'm
them
not
up?
planning on hitting him. I'm just planning on getting behind him and asking him why he's following us.
I guess.
I'm being violently attacked.
Just kick.
What?
Okay, so you want to act normal, head around a corner, and then just wait and see if you can entice him to follow you.
Oh no, just hide around the corner, see if we can get him in front of us, and then get behind him and ask. Just, flip our positions.
That sounds like a stealth check to me, unless you have some other argument.
Huh? It's fine with me. Group stealth?
Yeah, we can have, because I don't think Joey's here. We can have just the two of you do it.
Oof. I have luck.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, I just got hit by 50,000 messages and the realization that I'm a little hungry, so I will be 5 minutes. I'm very sorry.
Okay.
Okay, if both of us failed, I'm not spending the luck.
So,
No worries.
well, you have 50. I don't.
You head around the corner and jerk back against the wall. You don't do anything stupid. Like there's not a critical failure here, but it turns out you were just not as skilled at surveillance or foiling surveillance as your surveiller is. So you wait 15 minutes, you wait 20 minutes. Eventually, you have to conclude he is just not going to fall for this trick.
Yeah.
What did I tell you?
It was worth a shot.
I had a feeling this wasn't going to be like how it is in the comics. It'd be too easy if that was the case.
Can you blame me for trying?
No, but I kind of now wish it did work. It gave me hope.
Hope's important. Shall we try to find somewhere to eat? I'm thinking above table. I think we're probably going to be trying to get to Nairobi as quickly as possible, because there's a sense of urgency now that somebody's been resurrected.
And also we're being trailed.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't we have you book tickets for the train tomorrow?
Okay.
You can spend the evening at the Castle Hotel's a really nice hotel. They've got a good restaurant in there and everything.
All right.
You can spend a pleasant evening, a safe night. Nothing bad happens to you, don't worry.
No panther intruders this time around.
Panthers have been left back in Egypt.
They turned into really nice ladies.
You find that things are not so different here from back home. The train is racially divided. You, of course, are going to be in the first class car. You are warned that the trip is 600 miles.
All right.
It's going to take 15 to 18 hours. So there's a sleeper car. There's a dining car. can wander around and get yourself. You can take some exercise while you're on the train.
Okay.
And not far outside of Mombasa, you're already getting to see things a little different than Egypt or back home. The land is gentle, rolling hills, occasionally broken by ravines and canyons. There are dry grass spreads everywhere with thorn trees. And quite a bit of wildlife. Mount Kilimanjaro looms high in the sky. And as you're traveling along on the train, as the minutes tick by, you realize, now it was farther away than you realized. It's just really, really big.
Birdie's not much of an artist, but she very quickly starts just like jotting down terrible little sketches of everything. Like awful little stick figures and such.
You're gonna sketch the herds of wildebeest.
Yeah.
All right.
You can't tell that it's wildebeest.
If you choose to, you can head to the dining car and get a good meal. There are drinks available.
I will absolutely be sampling some of their drinks, comparing it with my own.
Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty decent dining service. The food is good. The drinks don't compare to yours, but they're passable.
I will end up asking them where their supply comes from.
Okay.
So
well,
that I can possibly visit their supplier in the future and give them some important tips on how to make actual decent drinks.
Well, this is the British colony.
Oh, that explains it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So the people you talk to will tell you some of it's produced locally, some of it's imported from England, but they also still have colonies all over the world. So their reach is pretty significant.
Yeah, but England always makes everything worse.
Connor is just staring at at a still full drink, looking sad at it. Like, why don't you taste it?
Have we, is our follower still around somewhere? Have we at all bumped into?
Good question. You can go ahead and make a spot hidden check.
I was assuming he wouldn't be anywhere near the first class cars.
Right, he's not going to be in the same car as you for sure.
Yeah, but I would assume that we're gone and moved to like.
Yeah, it is not encouraged, but you are not restricted from visiting the other cars. And when you travel through, all of the cars on the train are not on this map just because it would not be usable at that state. But the first class car is at the very back of the train, then the dining car, And then is the third class car, where mostly Asian people and Arab people are. As you travel through that, the man you saw earlier was Indian. With that roll, you can confirm if he's on the train, he is not somewhere that he's supposed to be.
Alright.
Further north, further along towards the head of the car, there is the mail, baggage, and freight car. In amongst all of the... There are... Again, there's boxes, there's bags of mail. You are not encouraged to stay in here. There is a guard in here. You do notice a motorcycle as well.
If they have any questions, I'll just say I'm interested in seeing how each car is designed,
Okay.
and that it's research purposes. That I'm just looking at other different types of trains around, comparing them and trying to see which one would be like the most optimal design.
Okay, and the guard will tell you that he's sure that's a commendable pursuit, but you should pursue it when the train is stopped and there aren't any valuables on board. He said to you on his way, in other words. On your way, in other words.
Mhm.
It does sound like my dinner is ready. I will be 1 moment, please.
Okay.
And I am back with my dinner. So hey, everybody.
Swat's place.
As you head back, James, as you head back to your compartment, you're going to notice that the dining service for the first class dining service is over, and as they set up for the second class, well, it's not as nice. They don't put out the silverware. They don't bother with tablecloths.
Kind of figured. They wouldn't go and make it as nice.
No. It's again a
I'd
British colony and pretty racist.
I'd assume it's how like every other like first and like other class seats for like anything are. First class is like the nicest, and then after that it just goes downhill.
Mm-hmm. The day goes by. It's hot, but the train is constantly traveling uphill. And by afternoon, you've risen out of the forest and the dense brush. The temperature is still hot, but the air is a lot less humid here. And now you can see some farms off in the distance. But there's still a lot of wildlife. If you sit and watch out the windows for a few hours, you'll see elephants, you'll see rhinos and giraffes.
Alright. Probably see if see if I could probably identify them properly.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, poor stick figure sketches of everything.
While Birdie's doing that, I'll go and say, "Oh, that's a take a wild guess. You drawing an elephant?"
Yes, I am.
Would you like to know some facts about them?
Absolutely. What do you got for me?
I have actually no facts, but I feel like James would have something.
So, The rainy season starts in about April. You are out of the worst of it at this point. It is May 10th as you're traveling from Mombasa to Nairobi. But the effects of the rain are still very much in evidence. You feel like you might be in Eden. The plant life is everywhere. It is verdant and shining. Just absolutely beautiful countryside.
Look forward to seeing their version of gators.
Do you have anything in particular you want to do, or is it just going to start to get to be nighttime? Getting dark, time to find a sleeping car.
Birdie is probably going to be up for a while.
Okay.
Even after you can't really see anything outside any longer except for the stars. She's probably going to be sitting at the window just thinking for a while.
Okay. Do you want
James will take Luna and go to the sleeping car.
Do you want to stick together? As in you all head to a sleeping car together, or are you gonna just take your time and somebody will go sleep, somebody will sit in the regular first class car?
James has the cat with him. He'll be fine.
All right. How about Connor?
Repeat what the last thing was? Sorry.
As
dogs.
night comes on, are you gonna head off to the sleeping car with James, or are you gonna stick with Birdie?
I'm gonna stick with Birdie.
Okay.
The night is young and I'm in first class. I'm taking advantage of it. The only downside is the drinks.
I think I'll have Victor, Theodore, and Jean all head off to take a sleeping car together.
Fair enough.
All right.
Birdie is gonna snipe at Connor a little bit.
James, I'm sticking you over here. Earlier this was like third class, now this is the sleeping car.
All right. Wait, bring Luna.
Oh yes, Luna is important.
He needs his guard cat.
I just imagine Luna's just, either curled up right next to me or laying on top of me.
She might be all curled up on your chest.
Just full.
Birdie, while you're sitting looking out at the night sky,
Yes.
it's been hours. You're awake, but you're in that sort of thing where you're drifting off a little bit and then waking up, and it's not always clear when you're awake and when you're starting to drift off. And you've seen a lot of crazy things over the past few months. So when the wall of the train begins to buckle and discolor and smoke, you're not sure for a moment whether this is really happening or not.
I'm just gonna reach back behind me and tap Connor a couple times. Am I hallucinating? And just scoot away from the wall.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Connor, as you look over, you're going to see the wall kind of bursts into flame. the metal bursts into flame, melts away, peels away, and something made entirely out of flame comes through the wall.
Oh my!
Connor, seeing this happen right in front of him, is just gonna look at Bernie, finish his drink, sets it down, and starts leaving the room.
All right. You start leaving the room, and the fire is going to leap towards you. How do you react?
Connor is going to, in a very macho and in a very macho display, yelp in fear and dive out of the way.
All right. I recommend you make that a dodge roll then.
Yup.
Okay.
Woo!
Good job. The fire leaps towards you, and you find it blocking your way. Dang it, why can't I select just it? There we go. It leaps towards you, you dive to the ground, and then you find it blocking the way out of your little compartment. I'm going to put us in turn order. Amazing, you're going to be first on the turn order.
Hey.
Let me just add... Luna doesn't need a space on the turn order, but James does.
How dare you?
She is an important member of the team.
Well, it's probably better for her if she's not in the turn order.
True.
Do I get any, do I hear anything from the previous card? Do I,
You're definitely not going to
you
hear
wanna
them.
do anything to wake me up?
Yeah, I'm a train
will-
car away. You do not hear me scream.
But I will tell you what's going on in just a moment here.
Alright.
So, Connor, you, just the way the system works, you're up first here.
So what does this this little section look like? Is it open seating kind of thing?
I think
Or
I'm going to assume that each of these between the seats is a wall.
is a partition that goes all the way up? Yeah,
Exactly.
okay.
Actual, like, compartments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. So, Connor, without many more options, is just gonna... He's gonna swear under his breath in Irish. You don't know what he says. The translator doesn't know what he's saying. But yeah, he's guessing it underneath his breath, and he's going to mag dump his revolver into it and see if that does anything.
Okay.
Egg dump into fire?
Yep, I'm killing it with fire, you know? Fighting fire with firearms. Yeah, multi-shot. That is point blank.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like right there.
Yeah. So, pew, pew, pew.
She really did just pull that trigger as many times as you could.
Yup. Look, I
Kana,
knew
we need
this
to
was
get you to a
happening.
range.
We do. We really do. It was right in front of me.
It doesn't actually matter though. Your bullets,
Yeah.
like you can't really miss at this range, but your bullets pass through the fire, and then out the side of the train, with no visible effect.
Oh god, bullets don't work.
Well,
Do you want to do anything else on your turn? You can move
Yeah,
around
you
a little
gotta-
bit, or
Yeah, he's gonna turn his head and like kind of get in the way and like look at her and say, "Birdie, figure out what we gotta do."
up front, James and his train car.
Yay!
I'm afraid much the same thing is going to happen up here. It's not going to get a chance to attack before you wake up, but you wake up to an acrid smell. In fact, the smell of metal burning. And you see an enormous hole opening up in the wall of the train. The foot of your blanket catches on fire.
I'm gonna throw that off.
Yeah, you throw it off and look up just in time to see a blue flame come through the wall. And then it's your turn. Luna is howling something fierce. She's hissing. That's about it.
Did I at all pay attention? Do I remember if there was anything like a fire extinguisher?
That's a very good question.
Is this before fire safety standards?
It's
That's a good
absolutely
question,
before
yeah.
fire safety standards, and they wouldn't be in place here anyway. However, speaking of no fire safety standards, you can smoke in here, and so there are like pails of sand to put out your cigarettes in.
Do I know where these pails of sand are?
Oh yeah, there's one right in. You're allowed to to smoke in the sleeper cars.
In bed, basically.
Yeah, so you got one very handy here.
Then I would like to attempt to grab that and throw it at the fire.
All right. That seems like an entirely reasonable thing. Yeah, go ahead and do a throw check. Do you have if you have something on your sheet, like a rock or whatever, you can just use that, and then I'll tell you what to roll for the damage.
I do have a rock.
Perfect. You can aim at it, you can roll, and then we just won't use the damage from it. Okay. Yeah,
A little panicking from
yeah. In your
You're
panic
being-
to get up, you end up kicking the bucket and spilling the sand all over the floor of the cabin. And I'm afraid that bucket of sand is probably a lot less useful in this form.
You'll just hear me as I kick it, and I'm pretty sure I kind of hurt my foot a little bit. Go. I need that.
Are you going to leave your cabin, or...
Is there another bucket nearby?
No, there's just going to be one per cabin here. But you can start searching in some of the other ones if you want to.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm actually gonna go and kind of like slide, open up, whatever, look in there, and be like, "That's what I need."
All right, yeah, you dash out into the hallway. I'm going to assume Luna follows you.
All right.
Birdie.
Yeah. I'm going to take our tray of terrible drinks, push Connor out of the way, and throw the terrible drinks on the fire demon.
All right.
Because only the highest proof alcohol typically catches fire. And
gonna
this
be
is
at least
not that.
There's gonna be like one drink in there that does catch flame, but the rest is just swill.
All right.
And while I do that, I'm also going to start yelling as loud as I can, "Fire!"
I noticed you still have Molotov cocktails on your character sheet. Are you sure you don't want those?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I don't actually have those anymore. I don't know why they're still there. I can't delete them.
That's okay. You can still use one of them to do your throw attack, but I won't actually
Okay.
force you to use that damage.
I mean, they're gonna work like, oh my god.
They will not work like Molotov cocktails, actually, because again, only the highest proof alcohol. Alright. It's been forever since I've done combat. Right click on the fire, and then in combat, I use the Molotov cocktail via combat.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh, it's giving you
Knee me big
brawl.
dumb.
Let me fix that. Turn off the melee. You definitely do not want to use melee for oh, whatever. Just roll throw. Just roll throw from your sheet.
Okay.
It's not working. Okay. So you throw, you just like grab the glass and fling it across the room at this thing. The glass shatters on the wall. Some of the liquid does splash onto the vampire. I'm sorry, not a vampire. It's fire. It's like a fire demon thing. It's not a vampire. And you see it flare up a little bit. You get the feeling that this isn't the highest proof alcohol. It's also not water. So if it does some damage, it's not going to do a whole lot of damage.
Damn. Well, I'm still yelling fire.
You're still
and
yelling
looking
fire.
around in the car for, like, an emergency, like, brake or an alarm or something like that I can hit.
Yeah, there's no emergency brake. There's no alarm. You do see another bucket of sand.
I'll go for that.
All right, on your next turn, you'll be able to go for the bucket of sand. Connor, you're standing in front of Birdie, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the fire is going to... the carpet at the exit is starting to burst into flames. And this thing is going to fling itself at you again.
What's a dumb idea that I can do right now?
Well, the dumb idea would be just to stand there.
True. No response.
Just take it.
Dang it. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10 how flammable, it has to touch it to catch it, or are we talking this is third-degree burn by being near it. Fire.
It seems to be increasing in heat.
Okay, so enough to catch fire to wood. That's in a couple of seconds, kind of thing.
Yeah, you feel like there is a chance that hitting it with a piece of wood would cause it to catch fire. It's not a guarantee.
Okay, so Connor's response to this thing trying to tackle him is to remove his jacket and charge at it to slam it into the back wall.
So you're fighting back. I love it.
Yep, I'm fighting back. He is a cornered man. He did flight, now it's time for fight.
At least he didn't freeze.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard when this thing's made of fire.
You'd be surprised.
This is a terrible idea, by the way, everyone. I'm just prefacing. Oh my god!
Good lord!
What is your jacket made of?
Right?
Okay.
Wool. It is a wool jacket.
Yeah, it is not gonna last long.
Roll your damage.
I was hoping you were gonna say leather.
No.
Wool is actually surprisingly fire resistant.
That's weird. It
Okay.
didn't roll the damage, it just said fists. And
Punch.
blank.
Well, it tells me.
Oh, it tells you, okay.
Yeah. You're going to... Just like you said, you put your jacket up against it, you slam it backwards. You got an extreme success. You're going to slam it back against the opposite wall. And you're going to... You're holding it for a moment. But you
Yeah.
can feel the heat coming through your jacket. You know your jacket's going to burst into flames very quickly. You see that the wall of the train is starting to heat up. But there is a path for Bernie to leave the compartment now if you want to stand here and hold it.
Yeah. That's pretty much what Connor was doing there.
Alright. And actually, that was on its turn. Now it's your turn.
Hey! So Connor's turn is going to be spending trying to hold it. Maybe push it through the wall.
Okay.
So yeah, target it, and let's go to combat.
If you want to just hold it, I'm not going to make you roll.
Mhm.
If you want to do anything else to it, then we would roll.
I'm just gonna hold it then. I've already risked it enough with rolling a 35 skill
Okay.
against this thing.
Roll your luck to see if your jacket catches on fire.
Alrighty. Where is mine? There it is. Come on. Hey!
Okay. So the jacket does not catch fire. You're holding it. Do you want to slide it one way or the other along the wall? Or do you want to just not push?
Does Connor... would Connor know which way the people are, or which way, like...
There's people in both directions.
Yeah, there's people in both directions. One,
Bless you.
to that direction, to that direction. Hey, I'm sliding it towards this way.
Alright, you're sliding towards the front of the train. So you're moving along. There is a smoking trail left along the wall of the train behind you. The wooden paneling is scorching.
And he's going to, while he's doing this, he's screaming because he's scared. This is a horrible thing to happen to someone that was just starting to relax.
It's absolutely, it's terrible.
Like, he's not having a good time.
You might at this moment be thinking about your friend Faraz Najjar back in Cairo, whose shop was attacked by a fire demon.
Yeah, and I was like, oh man, this is what he dealt with. Oh. But yeah, while he's running and screaming, he says, "Bernie, get the hell out of there!"
James.
Yes.
The compartment that you left, your bed is fully in flames now. And this thing comes out. I need to make sure Connor's not selected anymore. The blue fire comes out towards you, and it is also going to leap as though it's trying to grab you.
All right.
So how are you going to react? Are you going to do
I'm-
something to try to fight back? Jump out of the way?
I'm diving into the next car, or into the car, and trying to go and get closer to that bucket of sand.
All right.
If I surprise people who are sleeping in there, I surprise people who are sleeping in there.
Yeah, there's a scream and a lady sits up holding a sheet. You can make a dodge roll. Okay. Yeah, so it leaps...
Casual text info. Don't worry about me.
Yeah. So, it leaps down the corridor towards you. You dive out of the corridor.
I'm gonna assume I dive into here.
That works for me. And then it can be your turn.
I will get up, apologize, and say, "There's a fire. You need to get out of here now." As I'm gonna grab that bucket and
Make another throw roll.
why is that fighting?
I don't know. It should be throwing. Why don't you just roll throw from your sheet? It's a difficult thing. This is not something you prepared for.
I'm fine with
I'm
spending
imagining
27
it
luck.
like-
I'm gonna spend the 27 luck.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm imagining like this kind of situation. You're like grabbing it with like your hand and throwing it behind you, instead of grabbing it and prepping and throwing.
Oh,
Like
I'm
you're
assuming
just-
that I
you're
just grabbed it
moving.
with one hand, ran out, kind of slid, use my hand to go and stable myself quick, and then just threw it.
And you find it's a bad throw, but as luck would have it, this thing had already been recovering and coming back for you, so it's not where you expected it to be. It's right where you throw the bucket. You can roll a d6 for your damage.
Two.
All right, it is smothered. You see it's okay, it passes Constitution check. You see it you see it sputter, and suddenly, like, flames have been leaping off of it. The walls have been smoldering around it. Suddenly, the intensity of its flames decreases quite a bit. It's like there's a lot less heat coming off of it.
I will
You've done considerable
also
damage
proceed
to it with
to-
that.
I will also proceed to yell, saying, "There's a fire! I need help getting this out!" Down the rest of the sleep,
Alright.
down the rest of the cart.
The lady is going to flee out of the sleeper car, also yelling for help. And it is Bernie's turn, right as Bri walks away.
I'm here. Give me a sec. Give me a sec.
No worries.
God, Bri, you're holding up the game.
Temperature's dropping. I had to grab my heater. Okay. Yeah, so Birdie is going to grab her bucket of sand,
Mm-hmm.
come running out, still yelling fire as loud as she can. And rather than running away, is going to come up next to Connor and try to dump as much of the sand as possible directly on this thing.
He's holding it in place, so you can have a bonus die on your throw roll.
Yeah.
That seems fair.
Hell yeah.
James over here
All right.
running a ball
job.
of fire. They're 1v2.
That's a D6 as well.
2v1ing.
2d6, you said?
1d6.
1d6, okay.
It's just a bucket of sand.
Yeah, that's fair.
But that is going to be enough. You put this fire out. Connor, your coat has not burst into flames, but it is scorched and blackened.
Yeah, he's gonna fan the smoke. And he's going to, yeah.
And of course, your compartment
Is that a-
is still on fire.
Yeah.
But that thing's gone.
Yeah, that thing's gone. The immediate problem is over. It is Connor's turn. You know where you know that they would
Yeah.
have water in the dining car, and you know that the tender up front has an enormous amount of water. There will be more buckets of sand around. I'm sure somewhere on here there's an old fire extinguisher.
Yeah. So yeah, he's gonna immediately like take off his coat, grab his coat and whip it over the flames and run over it to try and get to the bartender, more sand, whatever he can get to.
You're gonna run up and start reporting a fire to the
Yeah.
crew. That's perfect. All right. Yeah, you burst in yelling fire, fire. You are currently smoking, so they don't have any difficulty believing you. And you'll see the crew leaping into action. Back to James. Yeah, this one is going to make another swipe at you.
Time to dodge again.
Alright. You can try to dodge if you choose to.
I wonder if it's not smart enough to realize I'm gonna go and hop back into that same room again. It really isn't that smart. We go right back in.
You do a somersault.
God.
You come up at a superhero landing. Luna comes up right next to you in the same pose.
Yeah.
So it's
What
just
was
the whole
that
Monster
about?
Hunter. Just
What was that about this not being comic books?
It is pulp.
Yeah, it's very cold.
Yeah.
I'm getting a feel of being like an action hero, like except for instead of fighting, I'm dodging.
Dodging's an important part of fighting. If you don't get hit, it helps.
Yeah.
And it has scorched the walls again. Its flames are still down, and it is your turn.
I'm going to go out and see if I can find another bucket. And if anyone else has also finally got up and might be able to help me.
You see people stumbling, like you see people opening up their doorways and looking out at you, bleary-eyed, but there's nobody leaping into action yet.
I'll say, Excuse me, I need that bucket of sand quick.
Yeah, you can, no problem, you can grab one.
And, I think this time I'm actually gonna get ready. And I'm going to wait for it to come to me again. And then throw the sand on it before it gets to me.
Okay, that seems reasonable. I didn't want to do this at first because everything was in the heat of the moment. I'm going to do the sand check now for all of you. Because you have realized that these things are acting with intention. This isn't just a fire.
I'm just picturing
an
multiple
18.
calcifers.
Yes, but mean.
Hey.
Yeah.
All good so far. How about Birdie?
Okay.
It's in the chat. You
Our
should be
card.
able to just hit it. All right. Yeah.
Whee!
At this point, living flame does not phase you much.
Yeah.
I've heard
we've
stories
seen a lot
about you.
worse.
I know what you are. You don't scare me.
Birdie, Connor ran off and is asking for help in the dining car. Your compartment is still on fire. You don't see anything immediate, but you can probably assume that this wasn't completely
Yeah.
random.
Yeah, I'm running to check on James.
Okay.
And I'm going to start humming the Grand Ward. See if that
Okay.
does anything.
Well, you will remember that it is a seal, and it's generally inscribed into an object in order to seal something away.
Yeah.
So you would expect it to have a minimal effect, if anything.
Yeah, but it's still something.
I'm sure it doesn't hurt your peace of mind.
This is how they're rationalizing how to deal with the situation. Just keep the sanity away.
This is how she's going to be focusing from now on, is by humming this little song that is going to be stuck in her head for the rest of time.
Absolutely fair. That's a good character beat. All right, you can dash. You can dash all the way through the dining car. You're not quite going to make it to James.
Okay. And as I ask Connor, I am telling him I'm checking on the others.
Okay. Connor, the bartender will throw you a fire extinguisher.
And he's just gonna give him a nod, and go right back to to put out the fire instead of going for James with the fire extinguisher.
I mean,
Because,
you focus on the
You wouldn't
immediate
know
problem.
that I have fire.
yeah, because there's a problem immediately in front of me, and I don't know. So
Okay. Yeah, you can run back. I don't think that they had pass back then, but you can break it open and start spraying your whatever the chemical is throughout this compartment.
I had it memorized in high school, and it's just gone.
Pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep.
Yeah.
James, it is going to come straight for you again. It is not focused on anybody or anything else. What I think is fair here, you prepared, so choose fighting back and take a bonus die on it.
Not.
There you go.
How do I add the bonus?
Here, I'll do it. You have advantage now.
Okay. For some odd reason, it's reading as brawl.
Yeah, brawl is fine.
But
That's fine. Okay. You can roll if you like. You don't need to. You're going to do enough to take it out with this.
All right.
Your compartment is still fully in flames. But you don't see any immediate threat to yourself. But just as the others, you're sure that this is a targeted attack. And you will recall from Cairo as well that, according to Najar, a sorcerer called the demon down on his shop.
It means the sorcerer's got to be on the train.
Awesome.
There's no way it couldn't be on the train, or at least they somehow know us well enough. Could be the guy that been trailing us.
Bertie, you can arrive in the car at this point, and Connor, it's going to take a few minutes, but you can put out the fire, and then there's just a gaping hole in the wall where the metal has melted away. The fire is out, but it is still way too hot to touch.
Yeah, he's gonna wipe the sweat off his brow and kind of be dragging the fire extinguisher depending on the size. And go back to the bartender.
Bertie and James, how are you going to deal with a compartment on fire?
I will still be yelling at people behind me. Hey, bring me another bucket of sand!
Okay.
Once
I'm
I
gonna put out these flames!
He's alive and as of yet unharmed, I'll run back into the dining car and tell them, we got another one!
I think that Victor and Jean will jump up and help you, and they will grab buckets and help you put this thing out.
Alright.
They do not have good fire safety at this point in time in the British Protectorate of Kenya. So there's only going to be one fire extinguisher in the dining car. There might be more on board. But between the group of you, you can grab enough buckets and cover enough of the cabin to put the flames out. The room you were sleeping in is still smoldering, still a giant hole in the cabin wall.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not immediately under attack, but you feel like it's only a matter of time before more of those things show up if you don't do something about it.
Yeah. I will inform the rest of what I remembered.
Mm-hmm.
And say that they've got to be at least somewhere on this train.
It's highly unlikely that they'd be anywhere else.
And
Alright.
yeah, they probably know that we got rid of the two flames, and they might be preparing to go and send more.
Alright. What do you say we start at the front of the train and work our way back, trying to find anyone suspicious?
I'd be up for that.
All right.
Say that we're just checking all the carts, making sure that there's no other fires starting.
Connor, should I assume you joined them at this point?
And I assume I would have a bucket of sand on me,
Yeah.
just in case.
That's fair.
Yeah, he's just gonna burst through with the fire extinguisher. Okay. I'm here. Aw.
We're starting from the front of the train and working our way back, trying to figure out who the hell did this.
Well, you're kind of starting from the back and working your way forward, but it's the same idea.
Same idea.
Yeah.
So you pass through the sleeping car. Don't see anything else in here. Ahead of this is the third class car, where it, which is going to be mostly Asian people. They do not get the benefit of a sleeping car, and are forced to just kind of sleep in their seats, which don't have individual cabins either. After that is that freight car that you were turned away from earlier, James.
Is the guard still there?
The guard is there. He appears to be asleep at his post. Like, not fully asleep, but kind of sitting down, nodding his head. Not alert.
Oh,
May I?
yeah, you can go ahead.
I'm just gonna rush right up to him, saying, "Listen, fires are breaking out on the train. Have you smelled any smoke up here?"
He is jerked awake. He says, "What? What the hell? Lady, what are you doing in here?"
Fires are breaking out on the train. I think there might be an arsonist.
Oh my
Have
god.
you checked in here?
He looks around. There's nothing on fire in here.
Have you smelt any flames anywhere from, like, further up ahead?
No, I haven't smelled a thing. Let me go. He says, "Is everything okay back that way?"
We've already put out 2 flames. We haven't checked the rest of the back. We're making sure everything up front is okay first.
Okay, he dashes up towards the front of the car, to the next cabin.
I'm
and he
following
can-
him.
Okay. Yeah, you pass through. Connor, I think.
I'm looking through the car to see if there's anything in this car specifically.
You can make a spot hidden roll.
Alright.
Connor, you don't need to roll to notice there is a motorcycle in here. It looks pretty good.
He is taking notes, and if I have to make an awesome jump out of a moving train, that's what I'm using. In his head.
Birdie, you confirm that there is nobody hiding in this car. Nothing is on fire.
Awesome. Moving to the next car.
All right. The next car is the car where African people have to ride, and it is the least nice of all. They, in fact, do not get to go back to the dining car at all. So when you burst into this room, it is just people sleeping in their seats. You don't see any signs of anybody behaving maliciously. You don't see any fire in here.
Okay. Do I see that kid that was following us?
You do not.
Okay. Are there any cars ahead of this one?
Ahead of this is just the coal car and engine, and you are not permitted to head up there.
Okay.
Then, we should probably go and start checking the other side.
Yeah.
Yep.
And inform the guard that we're going to go and start checking the other side if everything up here is fine.
Let's see. As you head back into the freight car, Birdie, you're going to notice, because you rolled pretty good, you're going to notice the wall starting to smoke. Same
Got
thing
another
you
one
saw
incoming.
earlier. Yeah. So the guards are going to watch in horror as the wall melts away and scorches and smokes, and then a fire emerges through it into the cabin. Well, not into the cabin, into the freight car. Who reacts as it emerges? Joey, I think you're muted.
I am muted. I'm thinking to myself like, hey, what kind of fire extinguishers existed back then? Is this a multi-use, like, or is this a one tap and you just dump the entire can?
I'm gonna assume that this is a chemical one of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah, chemical fire extinguishers were invented in 1904, so should be
Okay.
one of those.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. I still got it because you know.
Okay. We're just going to see how well you hit it. Roll a shoot. Whatever your highest firearm skill is.
Combat.
If you don't hit it this time, you might want to give me the fire extinguisher.
Ha
Yeah, now you hit it square.
Yay.
And you, as it emerges through the wall, you put it out. The guards are alarmed. They're not used to the train just randomly bursting into flames. It is difficult to blame you so far because you're fighting the flames, but it's weird, and you're the ones it keeps happening to. But there's now a hole in this wall.
I'm just going to grab one of the guards, look him dead in the eye, and say, there is an arsonist trying to burn this train. Don't think about it. to try to keep them from having to make sanity.
Don't think about it too much. There's someone trying to burn the train. We just need to find them.
He's gonna ask you, do you know anything about this? We were just in here. I didn't see anybody.
I don't know a damn thing except that they're gonna keep trying until the whole train is slag on wheels.
All right. Yeah, these guards are going to begin, like, racing through the car ahead of you. How about all of you? Do you have any specific ideas for how to search?
Slowly and methodically, and with as many buckets of sand and fire extinguishers as possible.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that there's another fire extinguisher in the freight car you can grab.
Yep.
And James, there's a bucket of sand in every sleeper car. So
I'll keep holding on to my sand.
Pocket sand.
Did your pocket sand?
You are maybe an hour away from the end of the line here. But as you search, as the guards search, there's nothing. You don't see any sign of anybody. And then one of the guards climbs up the ladder in between cars. He just kind of climbs up to look around out there, and then comes back down and he says, "There's somebody on the train."
Connor's eyes go wide like, I get to
On top
have
of
a
the train?
fight on a train in the back of his head.
There's somebody
course there.
standing on top of the train.
Where?
How fast is this train going again?
I mean, it's not a bullet train.
Yeah,
It's fast enough to be dangerous, but they're not going to get blown off by the wind.
Well, I just feel like James would go and say, how fast is this train again?
You're gonna make me look it up, huh?
What, you don't have that information handy?
It is slower than Superman, I can tell you that. 40 to 65 miles per hour.
yeah. So yeah, you can walk up there, but the wind is gonna. If the wind hits you in the wrong way, you're off.
It's inadvisable, but not
Yeah.
impossible. Plus, remember
Connor
you
just heard.
are pulp heroes.
Yeah, Connor just heard there's a fight that's gonna happen on the top of a train. Go fulfill your lifelong dream. So
Meanwhile, Birdie is wanting to pull an Indiana Jones. Where can you point out exactly where he's standing?
He pokes his head up again, and then he screams and kind of collapses back down the ladder, and he's like grabbing at his face. You don't see anything. He's not burnt, but he starts screaming about his eyes.
How does his eyes look?
If you get him to open them, his eyes are just white, as though his retinas are burned out.
Oh, lovely. All right. Well, I'm gonna head a little bit further into the car, see if I can hear any noise on the roof.
You want to start just blasting through the roof and try to shoot somebody?
Yes.
All right. To be honest, I think at best that's a luck roll. And if you don't think of some way to try to get a good beat on it, it's going to be with disadvantage.
I mean, I can try to take a peek and give you a good guess.
Don't you dare go blind.
Question.
But I
Is there
want
any
to fly
mirrors
it
on
on
this
a
thing?
tray.
What was that, Terry?
Is there any mirrors on this train? That I can make
Mirrors.
a pocket mirror.
Okay. I'm sure you have one in your shaving kit.
All right, I'm going to climb, not stick my head out, but I'm going to kind of hold on with one hand the ladder and take my other one and kind of just aim the mirror just a little bit over and kind of tilt it a little bit to go and see if I can get an angle and figure out like where.
You're pulling
Yeah.
a Perseus,
Use
huh?
the windows as measurements.
Yes. Pulling
Okay.
a Percy Jacks.
Yeah, you can, so you can, like, look around. You see a robed figure standing on top of the train. Arms cast out to the side, robes blowing in the wind. Chanting. And you can, like, you're looking in a mirror at night at the top of a train, so it's not going to be an advantage, but you can allow Brian to roll luck, straight luck, and see if you can, if you can manage to shoot anybody here.
All right. Well, go ahead. Try.
All right. Come on, baby.
All right.
Let's go.
Murder Bird lives on.
Roll your damage.
Somehow I'm so good with the mirror that I gave you a really good guess. I'm like, somewhere in the middle of this cart.
All right.
Come on, roll your damage. Liz.
For damage, okay. You hear a scream. You hear something go boom, 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 along the train, and then you see a body falling off to the side.
Yay!
And whoever or whatever that was, you leave it behind in the night.
I am
You're-
going to rush to the closest window and open it and lean out to see if I can see if it's just a dark shape left on the tracks or if it actually gets up.
Okay, you've got good eyes. You rolled incredibly well on that luck, so I think it's only fair that in the distance you see a robed figure lying in the grass by the tracks, and you see it slowly like start getting back up to its feet.
Can I try to shoot him again?
This is a train moving at a great speed in the opposite
I don't
direction,
think
so
we're
I
good.
think it is out of
Aw.
range.
Damn. uh,
But it seems good for you that that the guards saw this other figure, and so you are probably not going to be suspected of setting the fires yourselves. That seems like a good thing.
I'm going to check and make sure that, just kind of, I guess, try and be comforting to the guard that kind of lost their retina.
Uh-huh. Do you want to... let me see. Do you want to see what you can do about it, or are you just going to try to make him feel better?
I'm gonna mostly try and make him feel better, but if there is something I could try and do, I would I'd like to try and do that.
All right. When you looked at him earlier, like you managed to open his eyes up. When you looked earlier, his eyes had just turned like white, like you couldn't see a pupil or a retina or anything.
Mm-hmm.
When you get his eyes open again, you realize the eyeballs are gone. There is liquid running down his face, which you assumed was just tears, but now you realize that his eyes melted out of his face.
oh.
I don't know how to. I don't know how to reverse that.
Yeah, in general, eyes being gone is not reversible.
I'm just gonna step back a little horrified. And try my best to explain what happened to the others.
Mm-hmm. A doctor will be found and brought forward to sedate the men.
Okay. And I will try my best to just make sense of what just happened and explain it to them. There's some hooded figure. Sound like they were chanting up on top of the cart. This poor man tried to go and pinpoint where they were on the cart for us, and now his eyes are gone.
The doctor
Like
is
they
going to
just
suggest that
melted.
perhaps the arsonist was using I don't know, something like nitroglycerin, something that extremely flammable. Perhaps there was a bright flash. I don't know. I haven't seen anything quite like this before.
That could be it. We know damn well that's not it.
The guards, thank you. I say without your warning, this. If you hadn't noticed the fire immediately, the train might have been completely burnt. They assume that it's some sort of separatist movement, but it's going to be for somebody else to actually investigate.
Yeah.
You are, of course, allowed to take different quarters. You don't have to sit in the places that are burnt and have holes into the outside world.
Appreciated.
And not that long later, maybe half an hour later, you are pulling into the station in Nairobi.
And Bertie is going to go over to Connor and give him a kiss on the cheek. I'm sorry for ruining your chance for a fight on a train. Your eyes are too pretty to get melted out of your head.
There's always another train. He kicks he kicks the ground.
Would it help if we got you a motorcycle?
A
I saw you
little.
eyeing that one.
A little.
Alright, let's get you a motorcycle. God.
So you're going to find as you exit the train and head into the city that you're going to find it's not quite like Cairo. A lot of people here speak English. You're going to be able to communicate with people.
Even if it is all with a British accent.
Yes, it is going to be a British accent. It is early morning. As you pass through the streets carrying what remains of your luggage, because I'm pretty sure you lost some of it to the fire.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely at least lost about maybe half. I'll probably have had my I would assume that anything like really important I had like all put together in a separate bag, and then I have like loose
You've
items.
had enough nasty attacks on you suddenly that I can assume you have a go bag with the important articles in it.
Yeah, like, a go bag that has all my stuff. It has my journals,
Yeah.
and then I have one that is just separate, which is just like either clothes, other loose materials that I don't care too much that I can leave behind. That I can just re-buy later down the line. And that's what I lost.
Okay.
I'm a little sad.
And
We probably lost any hidden booze that we had.
he probably fed the flames.
So we're gonna have to rely on the local brew for a while.
Ah, the worst news.
And I think we can end tonight with your finding a hotel and checking in.
Taking extra special care to make sure that we are not again being followed.
I knew the second that we were on a train, like,
Murder mystery?
something bad's gonna happen to us while we're on this train. Nothing good happens on a train, and I hate that that's a thing because I like trains.
Well, it's not the first time you've ridden on a train in the game. It's just the first time that it's mattered, and so it's been a scene.
Yeah,
Yep.
true.
It also just felt right that I would assume nothing would go wrong on the train.
Yeah.
At least nothing too terrible that I wouldn't be at least prepared for. Not ready for a fire.
Right.
But I still handled it.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. You all handled that very nicely.
Right.
And I handled it by myself for the first part.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
So I feel like I'm kind of like patting myself on the back, going like, pulling my own weight. I'm doing good.
What did I say? Luna was with you. You'd be fine.
Yeah, I entirely had like 3 other stages to delaying this fire thing, and then it was like, oh yes, sand.
James is growing up.
Yup. Our little boy's growing up so fast.
I'm learning from everyone who's important to me in different ways. Learning Victor's
Insanity.
insane ideas
Mhm.
and movements.
Mhm. Now I just gotta take both you out to the shooting range.
Connor's resourcefulness and
Birdie's alcoholism.
yeah, pretty much. Which I would originally think would be more Connor's,
No,
but
Nope.
it's not.
look. Connor can't get drunk. He drinks for the taste.
Yeah, but I would think that I would be getting that from you though. Still, just drinking.
Nope.
No, it's just
Nope.
it's just Birdie. It's because Birdie keeps giving me
I mean-
alcohol.
I
Yep.
mean, it's kind of like why Wolverine drinks alcohol. He can't get drunk. He just drinks it because he enjoys the taste.
Yeah.
Well, good job, everybody.
Thank you. That was fun. That
Yeah,
was,
that was good.
That was a good
That was
session.
good.
Starting to mix things up here.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
opportunity I get to just do the off the hand fighting mechanics is always good. You remember my Pathfinder character, the fighter that does grapple checks every time he attacks.
Mm-hmm.
I love grappling. Okay, it's a great mechanic.
You grappled a fire demon, and not many people
Yeah.
can say that.
Yeah.
I not
some-
only
that's
dodged
some
it
Pecos
once, but I
Bill
dodged
stuff.
it twice in the same cart.
Yeah, and I was planning on bringing it through those doors and kicking it into the room that I knew that there was water. Like that was the plan until Birdie got in. Okay.
I'm sorry. I keep ruining all of your plans.
I know. Oh no, good job.
Well,
You did a good job and you got a good shot.
next week you can begin doing your investigations.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you
Man.
all for playing,
Yeah.
Thank you for running.
and I hope you have a good night.
Yeah. I need to go to the restroom.